Welcome to the Football Roundup with your host, Randy Silver, where we break down the biggest sports stories from the global game daily. Today, Sunday night, we're going to go over a weekend of August 12th and 13th. That includes Friday night, because football is back domestically in England and Spain. There are other competitions that happen throughout Europe. MLS is going on with the Leagues Cup. So much to go over. So this is the first week. We're going to do a full roundup for you. Let's dive into it. The countries we'll mainly cover: England, Spain, Germany, France, Italy, North America, rest of the world, hint, hint, Ronaldo, Saudi Arabia, or anything else that big that happens, so that way you're aware. Topics: match review, standings, key storylines, transfers, injuries, forward-looking, news, reactions. So we're going to make sure we have you covered every week. These will drop Sunday night or Monday morning. In the bio of the video on YouTube, you'll be able to see the country. So if you want to watch a specific country, what we go over, you can click it. But of course, please watch this whole thing. We'll do it all for you. Let's start with England. Here's your table. One game in. The only game that hasn't happened yet is Manchester United. They have not played, so they're middle of the table. They're playing Wolves. Other than that, every other team has played, and they either have 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw, or no points because they lost. Newcastle's at the top because they have the best goal differential, while Aston Villa's at the bottom, who played Newcastle with the worst goal differential. The biggest news of the weekend in terms of transfers, we have much more in transfers, but this is huge. For a British record, £115 million. £150 million. Earlier, Declan Rice went to Arsenal from West Ham, was a British record. Now, Moises Caicedo is breaking the record. He's going from Brighton to Chelsea for 8 or 9 years. Brighton bought him for £4.5 million in 2021. Now they're selling him for £115 million. I can't believe it, in 2023. What a rate of return. Benfica bought Enzo Fernandez for 10 million euros in 2022, and they sold him to Chelsea for £105 million in 2023. So Chelsea is spending £220 million for two midfielders for the next 10 years that they hope they're going to be there performing and taken back to the glory. We'll see. That's a lot of money. American owner Todd Bowley dishing it out, and that's an amazing return for Benfica and for Brighton. Be able to reinvest in the club however they see fit. Some key matchups for you that we just want to dive into. We won't go super intensive into the games. We have a lot to go over. City in their title defense going for a 4-peat. No team has ever won 4 in a row in the EPL. They got off to a 3-0 victory. Of course, they had the trouble yesterday. They had the trouble last season, so they have a lot of history from the past that they're trying to continue on moving forward with. The man Holland got off to start. I have on my fantasy team. Let's go. 2 goals. He's the first player ever in EPL history to score the first and second goal of the season. So that's consecutively, of course. City got off to a good start. One disappointment was De Bruyne got hurt, had to get sub off, hamstring injury. It was the same injury that was lingering in the second half of last season, the one he got hurt in Champions League final with. So that's something that he will be out probably for a weeks, maybe even a month or two. They really want him to be fresh and not be injured moving forward. Arsenal came in second last season. They won Community Shield, beat Nottingham Forest 2-1. Saka had a pretty sick golazo. Go look it up. We can't put highlights on here. Copyright infringement. But Arsenal getting off to 2-1 start. Shaky end, but they performed most of the game. Chelsea-Liverpool. Liverpool's got the new coach and Pochettino. Chelsea's got the new coach and Pochettino. Liverpool's trying to rebound from a mediocre season in their standards last season. 1-1 draw here. Some new players around. Chelsea building with the youngsters. And we just talked about Caicedo will come in and join too. Biggest win of the weekend. Newcastle won 5-1 over Aston Villa. This game was closer than it was in the back half of the game. The last 20-30 minutes, Newcastle kind of ran away with it. I have Isak on my team for fantasy as well. 2 goals. Let's go. I have Barnes as well. A goal and assist. Let's go. Newcastle in Champions League this season started where they left off from last season. Another big win, Brighton and Hove versus Luton Town. First time Luton Town back in the EPL in 30 plus years, so good to see him back, but not the way they wanted to start. Then lastly, Tottenham with a new coach, Coach Ange. 2-2 against Brentford. This was a back and forth game, 2 goals by each team in the first half, and the second half kind of doled out, became a defensive affair. They looked much more cohesive, and also, of course, you don't see Kane's name under Tottenham. First time Tottenham is playing without Kane in 10 years, and Son is now the new captain. As we talked about, Man U and Wolves will play tomorrow, and we will try to get a review out. If not, we will talk about the highlights for you another time. Transfer news in the EPL for you. Adama Traore is back in the EPL. He broke out with the Wolves, left with the Barca, another team, and now he's going back to Fulham. He will be on the flank. He's probably the fastest guy in EPL, maybe in Europe, and will absolutely run down. Other big one, of course, we talked about is Harry Kane. Marquinhos was in the Arsenal midfield for quite a while. The other people you see here are a little bit more youngsters. And finishing off, a big name you'll recognize, Fred. Man U midfielder for quite a while, is going to Turkey with Fenerbahce. Who's leading the leaderboards right now? Isak with 2 goals, Haaland with 2 goals at the top, Madison with 2 assists. Have him on my fantasy team, had him on the bench. Not a good play by me. France. Let's move into France. Here's your table. League One started as well, so you can check out the table here. Here are the transfers, the big transfers for you. Marquinhos coming into Nantes. We just talked about him leaving the EPL, coming over to France. Ousmane Dembele leaving Barcelona, going to PSG, playing in his home country, France. He wanted to leave. Barca said that the dysfunction there, he wanted more stability. He'll also be the main man in PSG, and we'll talk about that why in a second. So it's a pretty big pickup for PSG. Speaking of PSG, they tied 0-0. Look at the French, man. Look at the front. No Mbappe, no Messi, no Neymar, no Verratti. Do you even recognize that team anymore? Well, why is that happening? We know that Messi's MLS, and we'll touch about that in the North America section. But Neymar wants to leave. PSG wants him to leave. What's going to be happening? Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia, who just lost to Ronaldo's team Al Nassr in the Arab Champions Cup, which we'll talk about a little bit as well, is going to take Neymar and pay him fat. Pay him fat. 2-year contract. So expect Neymar to be in Saudi Arabia the next week or two. What are his stats in Europe and overall? Speaking about Europe, at Barca, he had almost the same amount of games as he did at PSG, which is wild to think about. It feels like he was at Barca much longer, but he really wasn't. He had more goals at PSG, more assists. So technically his output was better at PSG, but he was hurt a lot there, so it doesn't feel the same. Overall, at Santos, when he was a youngster, obviously he killed it as well. So we'll see how he does when he moves to Saudi Arabia. You would expect him to do pretty well if he can stay healthy. Now, Mbappe, the saga, you know about it. Is he going to stay? Is he going to go? Is it Real Madrid? Is it the almost $1 billion contract in Saudi Arabia? Is it MLS? Well, him and PSG are hashing it out, and he's going to be staying at PSG. They're having positive talks, and he's been reinstated back in the first team's training squad. Here's him. Here's a picture directly from the training, going through the tunnel, getting patted. He's back in the team. So that's good to see for PSG fans. Good for him to be back. Now the question is, can he leave for free next season, or will he have to get bought, or will he stay longer? So we'll have to see how everything plays out. Here's your League One statistics for your goal scorers. You can see that a lot of people, a couple had 2, and then people had 1. And then your League One assist right here. Moving on to Germany. The Bundesliga has not started yet. It starts next weekend. So here's just a table of zeros. Here are some transfers. Again, the big one is Kane going from England, moving to Germany, a massive transfer for England. If you're an American watching this, Malik Tillman, he is on the fringe of the U.S. team. He's a good youngster, will be a starter probably in the next couple of years for the U.S. team. Definitely once we get out of the next World Cup, he's that good. He's getting a move from Munich to PSV Eindhoven, where another U.S. player plays as well. So and that's where Pepe plays. So again, the other players leaving are just more youngsters. What did happen this weekend for Germany was DFB Polka. This is just their Super Cup. Think of it as FA Cup for England. DFB Polka is that FA Cup, lack of a better term, for Germany. So you can check out the scores right here. And then they will start next week for their Bundesliga. The thing that did happen in Germany was Munich lost to RB Leipzig 3-0. We have that video, the recap, so I'll put it in the link right here. That was Kane's first game. He subbed in the second half, didn't do much. And that is the winner of the Bundesliga versus the winner of the DFB Polka. And that was RB Leipzig, who was the Polka winner, while Munich won Bundesliga last season on the very last game over Borussia Dortmund. Italia. Italy has now started as well. They start next weekend. Any big transfers going on? Nothing crazy transfers happening here in Italy. The one big thing to know is Juventus is kind of thinking about Lukaku, and he's talked ish about Juventus in the past. Juventus fans don't want them there, so you may have seen a picture online. You can look it up of the fans storming the field saying we don't want Lukaku. So right now, last season he played at Inter. He went back to Chelsea's parent club. They don't want him, so he's kind of in no man's land. He has high wages, so it's hard for people to pay for him. Spain. Their league did start. So here's the Spanish table after one game. There's still a couple games to go. Like Atletico Madrid plays on Monday. Here are your stats. Top scorer, top assist, just one each across. And there's a lot of people there. Two key games. Obviously, for the top of La Liga, it's going to be Barcelona and Real Madrid. This game with Barcelona was wild. It was a very, very intense game. If you get a chance to watch the highlights, Xavi got a red card. Rafinha got a red card. Getafe was playing with some very dirty tactics, elbows, shoulders. It was a very dirty game. It became 0-0. Not a lot of football, unfortunately, happened. A lot of people yelling at the referee. Real Madrid started their chance, a new season. They get back on top of La Liga at 2-0. Give me 1 second. Let me take a quick water. Great to see Bellingham getting on the scoreboard. Big money signing coming in. 20-year-old looked very comfortable out there. He only will get better and better as he learns from the maestro Modric and Cruz. And you can see out there that their starting midfield was Valverde, Chouameni, Camavinga, and Bellingham. That's the future, the next 10 years right there. They're all sub 22, 23 at the absolute max. What they are missing, of course, is Benzema. It's going to be hard to make up not having Benzema on the team anymore. Who's going to get those goals? You have Vinicius on the left, but he's not an out striker, so will they get someone? They wanted Mbappe. If they don't get him, will they get somebody else? You can see in goal, it's not Cortés, which is unfortunate. He tore his ACL in training, and then also in the game, Militao tore his ACL. Oh, I'm so sorry. I tore my ACL playing lacrosse in college. It's not fun. It sucks. They will get the best recovery they could get, so they will come back fine, but it's sad to see. So what is Madrid doing if they don't have their number one goalie, one of the best goalies in the world? They're getting a loan for Kepa from Chelsea. So now he will come in and become the number one goalie for Real Madrid. He is Spanish, so he's going back to play in his native country. I'm sure he'll love this, and he's a pretty good goalie. Up and down to Chelsea, but I think under the Spanish system, he should flourish, be more comfortable playing in his native country. So for Real Madrid, it went from getting Kylian Mbappe to Kepa Arrizabalaga. I thought this was pretty funny. Here are the rest of the scores of the game, so you can check them out. And again, there are some games on Monday as well. Any big transfers happening in the Spanish market? It does not look like. Again, the one big one we talked about is Dembele leaving Barca to go to PSG. Other than that, nothing is really crazy happening here. A lot of them are just youngsters. You could say the Sergio Drader one to Moraga is a decent one as well. USA, Canada, and Mexico. The MLS is on hold. It's coming back next weekend. Why has it been on hold? Because of the League Cup. Here's the Eastern standings to give you a reminder. There's about 8 to 10 games left until playoffs. Top 9 make playoffs. If you're new to MLS, it's not like the European where the regular season winner with the most points wins. Then you go to a traditional American style where you do a playoff seeding and you play for a championship game. So here's the Eastern Conference. Miami is right now has 18 points. If nothing happened, they would need to get 12 points to get to 30. So it's going to be an uphill battle. But hey, Messi's 5-0 right now. Maybe they can make it up and get in the playoffs. But realistically, it's a very tough shot to make up 12 points, which is 4 games they have to win while other people are losing. Here's the Western Conference standings. You got St. Louis in the lead and LA Galaxy down at the bottom historically. They were trying to get Neymar, but unfortunately it did not work out, it seems like. Talk about Leagues Cup. We have a video up. Again, this will be in the link here as well in the bio. Messi scores again. He scored against Charlotte at home. Got his goal. They dismantled Charlotte in the Leagues Cup. Let's show you the bracket. Now they go to Philadelphia August 15th, which is Tuesday night, to play. While on the other side of the bracket, the only Mexican team left, Monterrey, is playing Nashville August 15th. So again, the Leagues Cup is the combination of the Mexican League and the combination of MLS. They play together to see who's the best in the North America continent. And then they get automatic berths into the Champions League. So here's the game, Philadelphia into Miami, and then you got Monterrey, Nashville. Rest of the world, this can only mean one thing. You can't leave out the second GOAT. Honestly, Messi, Ronaldo, yes, your GOAT should be one, but let's just say they're both GOATs. Come on now. He scored 2 goals to win the Arab Club Championship, absolutely put the team on his back. His team got 2 red cards, and he still helped the team win the game. His first goal came when they already had 1 card. His second goal came in stoppage time to win the game when they had a second red card. I have this video recap as well in the bio. Go ahead and check it out. This is his post on Twitter. Extremely proud to be helping the team win this important trophy for the first time. Thank you to everyone in the club that was involved in this great achievement, and my family and my friends for always being by my side. Thank you supporting our fans. So yes, this was Al Nassr's first time winning the Arab Champions Cup. Big for Ronaldo. First title in Saudi Arabia, and just something else to add to his trophy case. Whew! Football Roundup, weekend of August 12th, 13th. This was a crazy weekend, and this is only the first weekend to start the season for most of the world. So every weekend, we'll be putting these out for you. And again, if there's midweek games, Europa League, Champions League, Domestic League, whatever it may be, we'll do our best to put this out. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts on how everything went. Did your team win, lose? Give me everything you want in the comments. I'd love to have a banter and talk about it. My name is Randy Silver. This is Football Roundup with Randy Silver TV. Please like and subscribe so you know when this is coming out. And again, we have the Silver Lining where we talk about other sports and sports videos. I got my vlog videos, Dan Patrick videos, and so much more. So there's a lot there for you to go see. Thank you very much. Football Roundup, match day 1, out.